I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. The warm welcome that I got here today, it means so much, more than you know, because a lot of times hatred can be more powerful, or at least it's easier to focus on the hatred than it is the love, especially a lot of places I've gone. So I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, for you guys to give me such a great welcome, especially when I first came up today. The first thing I want to talk about real quick, because I think it's highly entertaining. Did you guys see the Democratic Socialist Convention? Did you guys see that? Yeah. All right, there you go. So let me explain something to you. First of all, yeah, they don't clap, okay? They do this, right? Funniest thing out to know. This is the future for the far, far left, okay? Not the moderates, but the far left. Here's what they do. First of all, they call everybody comrades. No joke, okay? Look it up. This guy gets up on the mic and he has an Antifa shirt on, first of all, which is funny in itself. Okay, it's the three arrows pointing down at a 45-degree angle. And he says, yes. And wait, what did they say when they first?
Personal point of privilege.
Personal point of privilege?
Oh my God.
So he goes up there and he says, listen guys, I have sensory overload, and all of you guys being loud and all this stuff and everything, it's giving me too much anxiety. You need to stop, okay? So he does that. The next person gets up there and says, please stop using the word guys.
Please don't use gendered language.
Don't use gender language.
They had a meltdown.
They went back and forth. So, anyways, it was probably about, they couldn't talk in there. They couldn't clap, they couldn't do anything right. They were eating each other up, and it was highly entertaining because that's what I have to deal with all the time. So it was fun to watch them do that to each other. Okay. So the first thing, and I talked about this earlier, the thing that is very important for us to understand, it's very important to understand that freedom is very important. For me, when I ran for the United States Senate, the first thing I talked about was my ideology. It's freedom first. Freedom first is very simple, it's very easy. It's the belief that I believe right now that we already have way too many laws at a federal level, at a state level, county levels, city level. We have too many laws, okay? Every single year, all they do is pass more laws, and every single law they pass, it gets us closer, right, to tyranny. Every single law. They can't just come in here, guns blazing, not yet, okay? They have to slowly warm us up. Now, the thing is about Republicans and Democrats, that's the thing. When you focus on freedom, I believe it's really unity. Because then you focus on freedom, you don't think about what team you're on. You don't think about Republican or Democrat. You don't think about any of that stuff. In Hong Kong, one of the most amazing things, for example, you have the gay rights activists, the LGBT activists. Okay, they're a huge part of the freedom movement in Hong Kong because China will kill all of them once they take over. You have the Christian leaders that are working side by side with them, because the Christians are being executed and persecuted in China, right? You have all these different groups. No one cares because they want to fight for freedom. Think about this. When your concern is about your children's future, the fact that you're about to have a communist regime that will control what they can say, what they can do, how they can act, and they may even disappear, at that point, you're not going to worry about the stupid, insignificant differences that we have with one another. We can't let things go. We're always fighting with one another over the stupidest things. That was the crazy thing for me in Hong Kong that I experienced, was the unity. They do not like to fight with one another. They respect one another, and they fight together, shoulder to shoulder. They do not there was one point, I'm on the front lines, waving my American flag to the Hong Kong police, which most of them are from China, right? But there's nothing they can do about it not at that point. I'm just waving my flag, and they have all these umbrellas, and it started with the umbrella movement. It started because they use them to block the pepper spray, but now they just use tear gas, but they still have umbrellas. And they're literally grabbing onto me. I had a bag, they're grabbing onto me, and they're making sure, they're just taking care of me. Every single time the tear gas went off, all these random people come up to me and give me stuff, give me goggles, give me helmets, give me everything. It's just a team effort over there. When, one point, the first night I was there, right, tear gas is going off, all this insane stuff, everybody's taking care of one another. We're running around, and all of a sudden, I see 300,000 people just go running down the street, and I turn around, I'm all by myself, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna follow these guys, I don't know what's going on. I go with them, they go down into the subway, they go down there, and all the workers in the subway are like, come on, they had the gates up, they made it so everyone can run in, they packed. I was the last one. I went through there. As soon as I went through, they closed down the gate so the police can't come down, right? And they shoved all of us into this tiny little train. We're shoulder to shoulder, okay? It was, anyway, so the train slowly starts to move, and everyone just starts cheering, and it was weird, and they had this little chant. I didn't know what the hell they were saying, but it was something really cool, I'm sure. And so, so I'm sitting there like this, and I'm very claustrophobic. I don't even like big groups. Like, I hate big groups, okay? Like, the fact that he just opened that door makes me feel better, because I can, like, run. But I'm stuck in this train, but it was one of the most happiest moments of my life. Like, I remember thinking, like, I don't know if I'm going to leave Hong Kong. This is so amazing. So anyways, this part of the story doesn't matter at all, but we pull up to the next stop. We pull up, and there's normal people waiting to get on the train. And the door opens, and we're like falling out of the train. And we're like, you're not going to get on here. So anyways, my point is, this is what China's so afraid of. Some of the people I talked to in Hong Kong, this is what they're saying. They're like, Joey, I interviewed a lot of people. I said, Joey, if we can guarantee our freedom through peacefully protesting in the streets, he said that has the potential to free so many people in this world, especially from China. Taiwan, look at what they're doing in Tibet. Even though they have Tibet on lockdown, they're still, like, one of the last major rallies, they had like 8,000 people show up knowing full well what would happen to them. Half of them disappeared. You have monks who are burning themselves in the streets in protest of this communist regime. What I'm saying is, the thing that Hong Kong has going for it, they don't have a Second Amendment, right? They have no way to defend themselves. Number one, the first thing they have is they have the knowledge and understanding what's going to happen in their future, right? Because they can look at China and see what's happening. While in America, everyone justifies every single law, right? Oh, gun safety, let's keep you safe. So they justify it. They don't understand what's going to happen in the future, okay? So they have that. Number two, they're willing to die for their cause. They've tasted the freedom. They understand it. They've had 100-something years of freedom, and they're willing to die for it because they always bring up their children. They do not want their children controlled by China. Yes?
Are you familiar with manipulation and Bosnia?
No, do you want to talk about it later?
It's the same principle.
Okay.
Mass graves, genocide,
Okay.
socialism.
You can educate me on that later.
My brother knows that.
Okay. Okay. And it happens a lot.
Principle.
What's that?
Same principle.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, so they have the fact that they're willing to die for it, right? It takes a lot of courage to go out there because the Chinese government, they're doing the same thing they do here. They're taking pictures of every single person. They're doxing them. China sent in a bunch of thugs, just like Antifa, right? Hired thugs to go in there to beat them up because the police aren't allowed to do it because there'll be a bunch of pushback. But the biggest thing that they have, the biggest thing is the unity. And that's what we have to learn in this country. We have to understand the importance of unity. We have to understand that the only way we will truly save this country, right, is to stop looking at other Americans as enemies. Because they're not. They're not the enemies. It doesn't, everyone, I believe, is born to be a good person. People get pushed off in the wrong direction. I get it. You can't waste your time on people who are already long gone. Okay? But there's so many people that want to fight with us, but they don't understand what we're fighting for. They don't understand what we're trying to do. They don't understand that like, take guns for example. For me, why I'm so passionate about the Second Amendment, the right to arm ourselves, is because I don't want another Hitler, right? Like, I'm not a Nazi. I'm sure like I am anti-fascist, right? People need to understand, we don't fight for our gun rights to go hunting. We don't fight for our gun rights because we think it's cool to have a gun. We fight for our gun rights because we don't want a dictator above us to be controlling our children and our grandchildren.
Amen.
This is the thing.
Amen.
So, this is why I talk about freedom as much as I can, freedom and God, okay? God is a different thing, I get to the same, but I talk about freedom a lot because we don't think about it enough. That's the thing. Like, you take too many conservatives, for example, they accepted or they supported the Patriot Act, right? Put up by a Republican president, a conservative, right? And it was hard to watch what happened in New York, 9/11, right? But it's that psychological thing that we always do. We see 20 people dying one night, which is a shame, a horrible thing, okay? But we have people dying every single day. Every single day. We have 10,000 people a year that die from handguns, right? You have 300 people a year that die from rifles. Why is it that's all we hear about, is the rifles?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because they cannot, you don't arm an army with handguns, right? You arm them with rifles. That is why they're going after the rifle. The government is not afraid of us holding handguns, okay? But one thing I want to talk about, we're fighting a battleground right now. I'm going to talk about that in a second. And we got someone here who's running for city council. I want to talk about her. But one of the things is everywhere I go, when I fight for something politically, they bring up what I've done in Portland. They try to use it against me. They bring up what I've done down in California. I want to explain to you why I did what I did, why I fought for free speech. Number one, a lot of people don't care about it. They don't care about free speech. They don't. Especially if on your left, because you haven't been censored yet. But it'll come, trust me. It'll come. The reason why I fought for free speech, okay? And just because it's not important to these politicians, just because it's not important to a lot of people in this country, it doesn't mean it's not important for freedom. And I saw something that blew my mind away in our country. I look on the video, I'm sitting on my couch, watching, that's how politically involved I was, watching the news, right? Watching the news, and people are leaving a Trump rally in San Jose, and I don't care if it was a Trump rally, I don't care if it was a Hillary Clinton rally, I don't care who was speaking. The point is, people, women, children, and men, and elderly people were getting beat up by a mob right from the police, right? Nobody did anything about it. And I did not find that acceptable. That impacted me. And it upset me. And it made me even more angry that the next day there wasn't thousands of people protesting against it. I saw that and I knew that God, that was the first time I felt a real calling in my life. And I knew God wanted me to do something about it. And so I was committed to it. We went down to San Jose, we went down to the Bay Area numerous times. Several people got bloody. Did you see the guy who got hit by a bike lock?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was a professor, okay, at a 2-year university. He served 2 days for that. 2 days. Let him off like that. They're lucky that they even got him. Yeah. Right? See, this is the thing that people don't understand. When they see the videos, they think it's just a bunch of gangs that are fighting and stuff. We went into Berkeley numerous times and a lot of people bled. I saw a guy getting knocked down to the ground, unconscious, right in front of the police. He's getting spit upon right in front of the police. They didn't do anything. Okay? My goal was to go in there as many times as I possibly can, okay? As many times as I can, bring so much pressure onto that disgusting mayor who had the police stand down while innocent conservative, while people who just want to preach about God, preach about freedom in Berkeley, that was their crime. That's why they're being attacked. And the media and the mayor would call them racist, have the police stand down, boom. 1,000, 2,000 Antifa show up and just have their way. Okay? I mean, Patriots kicks ass too, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, all right? The thing is, though, is finally at the very end, August 27, 2017, that was the end of the Berkeley area because 3 of us took a beating. We walked in with our hands up. Several reporters took beatings. A father and a son who tried to protect us. Okay, we walked in with our hands up. My buddy Pete gets knocked out cold to the ground, back to head, right? His crime, coming in with his hands up. A father tries to help us. I didn't see this until I saw the film later on. And then a bunch of the mob goes after that father and that son. Just beat him up. For nothing. For nothing. But it was all over national television. Finally, something happened to that mayor. Before that, the mayor refused to call out Antifa. The Nancy Pelosi refused to, she supported Antifa publicly. Because after Charlottesville, she said, well, they're attacking Nazis, so it doesn't count. Right? But then after that day, Nancy Pelosi disavowed, the mayor disavowed, and they finally enforced a no-mask law after that day, okay? It's very important to understand this. That was August of 2017, so what, that's 2 years ago? There's been 1 act of political violence in Berkeley since that day. And they got arrested. That's it. They don't show up anymore, because if you show up with a mask, right, the police are gonna demask you and figure out who you are, and that's the end of it. And this is the thing. Now that what happened in Portland Liberation went June 29th to Portland, I didn't think Portland would take so long, okay? But finally, after Andy Ngo, unfortunately, had to take a beating, okay? Yeah. A gay immigrant, let me remind you that, okay? His crime is recording and exposing the truth. That's it. That's his crime. Did you guys see the film? Yeah. Andy Ngo? Yeah, the whole country saw it. Now we got senators talking about it. We got Ted Cruz talking about it. We got President Trump talking about it. We have all kinds of politicians finally jumping on board and talking about the RICO Act and how much this mayor has complied with Antifa. And I want to explain something to you. Portland's Liberation understands this. There is a movement going on in the darkness in this country, behind the scenes, okay, to allow these thugs to put fear into your hearts and to let them get away with it in any manner possible, okay? Any manner. And this mayor really deserves to go to jail, without a doubt.
Yes.
The thing is, I am glad and I am thankful that I had the opportunity, and everyone else who had the courage to show up in Portland, we had the opportunity, okay, to expose this corruption, expose this mayor, and expose Antifa in Portland, Oregon. So that's why we did what we did, going to Portland.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so a couple years ago when I decided that I'm going to actually do something, first of all, that's my number one, the biggest advice I can give you if you haven't been involved yet, just try to do something, okay? Just try it. Just try. You'll be amazed at how much you'll accomplish simply by trying, okay? But you won't accomplish a damn thing if you don't do anything. The first thing I ever did was flag holding. I didn't know what else to do. That's what I did. That's how it started. So I've been through a lot the last couple of years, and I've learned a lot, okay? Now I want you to think about this. Imagine this. Imagine you being a person who just loves the Constitution. You love freedom. You're not okay with the direction this country is going. Okay? You see God being ripped out of this country every single day. So you decide you want to be a voice for freedom and God. And those are the two things that you focus on. And you make a commitment to being as positive as you possibly can to a fault. Okay? So imagine that. So you go out there, okay, and you give a speech, right? And then you're like, okay, I think I can do this. And then all of a sudden you start speaking everywhere that you can. Think about it. You go on the street corner, you try to go to rallies, try to go to this. But then imagine this, your message is always about freedom, always about God. But imagine every single day somebody tries to cut you down. Every single day. Every single day someone call you a Nazi, call you a racist, call you hateful, say that you have hate speech. They say everything about you that you are not every single day. Okay? Imagine people on the right and the left doing everything they can to silence you. Everything. The media, every single day putting out a storyline about you. Okay? Imagine going into Portland, darkest city in America, in my opinion. I've been to a lot of cities in America. Imagine going into the darkest city in America, because that's where I think it needs, that's where the prayers need to be, right? Yes. Imagine going to Portland to pray, to try to bless this city with our Creator, and look across the street and see 2,000 people masked up with weapons wanting to kill you. Mm-hmm. Wanting to seriously kill you. I'm not going to sit here and complain too much about what I've been through, because it makes me feel like a victim, and then there's a lot of people in this world who've been through way worse, right? Okay, so my point isn't about how bad it's been for me, but I want to explain something to you. But imagine doing all of that, right? But staying positive. Not allowing it to make you bitter. Not making you want to hate this world. Okay? And I want to say this, and I want to be very clear about this. There's only one force in this world, okay, that's been able to guide me, been able to help me stay positive, okay? Stay to the message, stay to the point, and to get up every single time I get knocked down, and that's God. That's it. That's it. I bring this up, this is very important, I bring this up because I've gotten a taste of the darkness that's brewing under the surface in this country. I got it. I understand what's going to happen. Okay? I felt it. I've tasted it. Had it spit in my face. Like I know what's going to happen in this country. We're going to go through some hard times. I'm telling you. I don't mean hard times as in economically, although maybe. Okay? I don't mean hard times as in some world war, which could happen. Okay? That's not what I mean by the dark times. What I'm talking about is the lying and the deception is going to be huge, bigger than it is now. Be ready for it. All of you who fight for this country, you're going to be demonized. You're going to be called some of the most derogatory names that you can imagine. Okay? It happened to me just because I was one of the guys who went into their territory and dared them to do something. Okay? But it's coming to all of you. Okay? The hatred. This thing that they did in El Paso, okay? Now all of them are saying, without a doubt, President Trump is a white supremacist, okay? I don't know if you've seen that. Several reporters or several politicians have said, I don't want to hear the question if President Trump is racist. He is, okay? They're done with the argument. So the next step The next step is everyone who supports Trump, someone said it today on the boardwalk, everyone who supports President Trump is a white supremacist. Okay? This is going to be the next move. This darkness is going to come into this country. The hatred is going to come into this country. I want to give you guys a piece of advice, and I hope you follow this, okay? Although the country begins to drown, okay, as the hatred begins to pick up, keep your head above water by preaching love, okay? You worry about what you can do. You don't worry about all the people around you spewing out their hate, their name calling, okay? You just preach love. That's it. Do what Jesus did. Jesus could have been surrounded by 500 hypocrites, right? But he stuck to his message. He didn't go down to them, okay? As this country continues to be overwhelmed with the deception, okay? This deception is crazy right now. I know you guys know that, but from what I've been through, like when I see, because I know who I am, what my heart is, and then I see what they write about me personally on media, it's one thing to see them lie about Trump, because Trump's like this big president guy, and he's all the way over there, you know, celebrity, all that stuff. But then for them to, the way that they would lie about me personally, okay, it's like, it's unbelievable the things that they say. Just like, for example, when they say that I have hate speech, okay? By the way, if any of you guys have any evidence of hate speech on my part, you win $3,000. Just want to make sure you guys know that, okay? There's people that stay up all night, like, they just got something on here. I'm not joking. But as this country, as the deception continues to overwhelm, or the deception overwhelms this country, keep your head above water and speak the truth. Speak the truth. Stay in the light, ladies and gentlemen. The temptation is going to be to play the same dirty tricks that they play. Yeah. No, we don't do that. You keep your head above water. Because if you don't stay in the light, you don't preach love, you don't preach the same values that Jesus preached, you're going to drown with the country, ladies and gentlemen. Keep your head above water. This is what I'm saying. And better yet than that, instead of just keep your head above water, walk with Jesus and walk on the water. Right? Walk on the water. This is something that I believe, and this is what's gotten me through the days, okay? And this is why I keep fighting. Because I do believe in myself. I do. I believe in myself most of the time. And because I've found the reality that this part of me now, okay? The truth is that my Creator, God, okay, built me. He built me. That's right. I believe in God. And I believe that He built me perfectly in order to change this world. Right? I just got to walk on the path that He built for me. And this is something that I say all the time, okay? I really hope you guys take this to heart. Because it's like the biggest secret in the world, and they don't want you to know about this, okay? But you, all of you are here to change the world. You may not be in the history books. You may not be in the newspapers. No one may ever know what you did. But you are here to change the world. God built you for that. Okay? This is like what I said earlier. The Christians have been plagued to keep your head down. Okay? The preachers will not come out of the church. They're staying in the church. So the only people they get to preach to are the ones who are courageous enough to come into the church. Okay? We need to be out on the streets. You need to be doing your videos, doing your social media. When there's so long time ago when I first started, I noticed a couple things. Okay, I noticed there's no spirituality in the street movement. Okay, there's hatred. There's tons of fear right now. The activist community on the West Coast is all about fear. It's all about what you're against. It's about hatred. Okay, a lot of it's ran off of lies. There's a lot of people who seriously do believe that, for example, I'm a white supremacist. Okay, and so they don't do the research. But the biggest thing is, it always plays into the government's hands. Always, in activism. That's what I've seen. That's what I've noticed for a long time. You take the Black Lives Matter movement, for example, which they're not all bad guys. I've met a lot of guys who are part of Black Lives Matter movement, and they're good guys. But the people at the top, right? The reason why they did that, why Obama was pushing it, is because he wanted us to get rid of all of our local police law enforcement. Get rid of them, bring in the national police state, right? And imagine that. Imagine being a black man who's concerned about the way the police treat you, and instead of having to deal with it at a local level, now you got to go up against a huge federal government, right? It's playing into the government's hands. I saw that, and then I didn't see anybody, I didn't see like a huge movement for freedom on the streets, a huge movement for spirituality and for God. And that's what I committed to. And when I first went out there and I saw all these things that bugged me, okay, I made a commitment to God. And these are the commitments, some of the commitments that I made, okay? Number one of the first commitments I made to God, because I knew that it was going to be on some journey. I just had no idea that I would be here, for example. I didn't even know that I would be a speaker. But I committed to promote God as much as I can in a non-judgmental way. Right? One of the cool things about politics is that it's weird. I have these two groups, right? That kind of help support. Number one is the people who they could believe in God or they could not. Okay, but they believe in freedom. And they have the people who believe in God. Okay, so it gives me an opportunity to talk to a lot of people. And so I hear a lot of times people say, Joe, you need to separate religion from politics. Number one, I'm not religious. Okay, I follow Jesus. That's it. I don't tell anyone what to think or what to do. Someone has a question, I say, hey, ask Jesus. He'll let you know. Trust me. But I'm telling you. But the thing about using God in the movement is very important, and here's why. Because that's literally that is the creator. That is our universe. Is God. It is, he literally is, Jesus is sitting here waiting here, like with literal superpowers, waiting to help you out. Right? You want to go up against the most powerful government in